Wake up, everyone! I'm back. So if you didn't know, Path 7.2 just came out and you already know what's gonna happen in this video. I'm gonna show you guys how I beat it. Just a side note that this is just the way how I beat it, and there's probably a million ways out there to beat this, so yeah, just to give you guys an idea on how to play this mode. Before we get started though, if you're not subscribed still, go do it right now. Right now. Yep. Thanks. And now let's talk about what I did. First question you might ask, what is Path 7.2? It is actually an optional path that you could beat in exchange for a badge that only a few people have right now. And if you have an egg and flame core, you can earn skins for them as well. Pretty much you'll get the egg skin on your first win and the flame core skin on the second win. How do you get there, you ask? First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the Path 7 area, and once you have teleported to the Path 7 area, you're gonna go ahead and teleport towards the East Dome. Right when you get to the East Dome, go ahead and face the teleporter going back to the main area, and you're gonna keep walking straight all the way down until the end, and you turn right and you should see the red beam going down like we about to be on Mr. Bean or something. I don't know, I'm kidding. But behind it, there should be a fish that you could teleport on, and welcome, you just teleported to Path 7.2. Now let's talk about the towers that you're gonna bring. For this path, you're gonna bring Poseidon's Tomb, Railgun, Star of Sovuso, Lord Sovuso, Rail Mini, ACD, Missile Launcher, Orbital Cannon, and this is optional but you don't have to, but Fabricator. And other optional towers that you could bring, but me and my teammate didn't on this one, are Sun Temple and Sun Temple MK2. Though the only thing about Sun Temple is that you can't really make it early game, and that is because for the most of the waves until wave 23 I believe, all Sun Temples receive negative 50% damage. It ain't worth it in the early game at least. Next thing that we're going to talk about is which player is going to take which side. In this map, there are two areas that you need to defend. The first area, we're going to call it the pond area. Also, this is the easier path if you don't want to take the hard one. The other path is the two paths, or the outer path, or whatever you want to call it, the big castle path. Basically on this one, you're mainly gonna defend two areas. One is the dirt brown path, which is at the outer part of the map, as well as the sand path, which activates itself and spawns cubes on it starting on wave 7. I'm gonna separate this video into two sections. One is the person doing the castle path, which is the two paths, and the other part of this video would be for the person who's handling the pond area, starting off with the castle path. So once you're in the match, first thing that you do is you're gonna save for Rail Minigun. And by the way, for this entire match, you're always gonna have to look for the killer fish, which spawns at certain points of the map, and if you don't find him on time, then killer fish is gonna kill you. So always be sure for both teammates that you guys are all looking for the killer fish here and there. If you don't find it on time, that's okay, because it does its first warning where it'll tell you, ooh, a killer fish is lurking somewhere. And when this message pops up, then you should start seeing a highlight somewhere in the map where it shows you where the killer fish is. And if you still didn't collect it, it's gonna do its final warning, which it'll tell you that it has 15 seconds left until it kills you. What happens, you ask, if you run out of time? Well, it's gonna spawn the killer fish, and it has a huge amount of health that it's just impossible to kill. So better keep an eye out for the fishies.
Yeah.
Back to the towers, you're gonna get one stronger barrel around this area right here, and once you get one stronger barrel, you're gonna go ahead and place another Rail Mini right over in this spot and upgrade it to stronger barrel as well. Now for this part, I do different things with this strategy. It's not always the same. I kind of just feel like what it spawns and what I need at that moment, but sometimes I would either save up to get a quantum speed upgrade for the Rail Minis and upgrade both of them to that upgrade, or I would just stick to stronger barrel and get one missile launcher and then get two quantum speeds. Once you have two quantum speeds, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna evenly spread out my missile launchers around each of the Rail Minis. So just like what I'm doing here, just upgrade one missile launcher to max, place the next one to the other Rail Mini, upgrade it to max, and so on. Now I would say for this part, just keep an eye on the sand path, because there will be a few times where you would leak like probably one or two cubes that just like passes through all of your defenses, and that is okay, because you have the option to either leak it if you want to, if you don't care. Or you can also catch it with a rail mini or a railgun at the end before it exits. It's completely up to you. Now jumping to the part where you max all of your missile launchers, you're gonna go ahead now and max both of your rail minis on the map. And once you've done that, you have like a few moments to like either defab if you brought defab. Personally, you don't need defab for this match. I just prefer it just because it's easier for me and my teammate to place towers quickly at the very last wave. So definitely defab's not needed. You could probably replace it with another DPS tower. It is just my personal preference. The next step that you're gonna do is just place your OCs like how I did here, and make sure to place them in the corners so that it covers more of the path, I guess. And also don't forget to set them to close, because if you guys didn't know, cube defense targeting, it's not the best out there. Sometimes it would just target a cube that's behind whatever's at the front, and you know, that's just cube defense design. Pretty cool. To fix that, just make sure to put your orbital cannons targeting to close and upgrade it to the green upgrade. I don't remember the name of the upgrade while I'm speaking right now. So once you have all of them to green, I would say you could upgrade the OC by the sand path one more time until it becomes orange. And then from there, you're gonna go ahead and place your fabricator around this spot right here. What I mainly use fabricator for, and again, I'm not the expert for this, is I just use it to mainly slow the cubes on the sand pass, just because sometimes they tend to be a little funny and go past your defenses. So by putting fabricator over here, that solves the problem. For the fabricator upgrade, I would typically get it to the scorching duplicate upgrade, and then I'm gonna get railgun. I would typically get 4 iron spikes by the castle, and then I'm gonna upgrade my OCs one more time into plutonium upgrades. When wave 22 starts, what I do for this one is I go ahead and place Lords of Usos by the sand pass. Your goal here is to kill Evil Bert as fast as you can, just because he pushes really far in this stage. Again, for this part, it is really situational. Sometimes I would max Lords and let it take care of Evil Bert, but then you also have to watch out because sometimes it gets too far that you think you might leak it. So just in case that happens, I do put an ACD right at the end of the sand path just to be safe. There will be other times as well in my other runs where I would get 2 Gates of Fates and max railguns and then max OCs and then get the rest of my ACDs out, or it could be another way around where I would get max Lord, max my railguns, get some ACDs down before I max my OCs. I know it is a weird strat. I just kind of feel it, like, you know, fill the cubes, see who needs the upgrades the most. Usually around mid to late wave 24, I would start placing my stars at the very beginning path of the dirt path, just so I could get ready to hit the last boss with the stars. Since they take time to charge up, you're gonna want to place them early. And also I went ahead and microed all of my anti-cubes to the front of the dirt path, so then I could go ahead and get started on doing some damage on the final boss. And when the final boss is here, just make sure that you and your teammates have your lords on it, as well as stars. Those are the most important ones. As for your teammate on the other side, which is the pond side, we didn't really move any of their towers just because they also have a lot of things going on their side. So moving a lot of their towers to your side is not a good idea because they could leak out there. At some point when you get the time, I would typically sell fabricators and also sell its spawns, just because it could interfere with your placement limit. Like for me, I keep hitting the placement limit of 40, so I just sold my fabricators at this point of the match. The most important part of this last wave is that you're microing your ACDs, especially your stars, and make sure everyone's lords are hitting the boss. When the final boss gets to like around the halfway, it would start deleting your towers just like this. As you can see, it's doing the same thing as what it did on path 5 or 6 if I remember correctly. Before you see that glowing orb flash out, make sure to sell your towers as fast as you can, because if you keep missing these and not selling your towers, you're gonna lose a lot of money, and that's not very good. Make sure your teammates stars are still hitting it. If not, ask them to move it, especially Lord. This is also why I like defabbing the stuff, just because I have so much room to like place stuff compared to like not defabbing, where you'll be like, oh my god, there's a shell right there I cannot place. When you kill the final boss, just make sure to hop onto the pawns person's path and help out killing their cubes on their path, just because those ones also push really hard. So yeah, that's how you do it for the player on the big castle slash defending two paths slash outer path, whatever people call it. And now we're gonna be covering what the person on the pool side will be doing. To start off, we're gonna save up for a rail mini and we're gonna place it on this area right over here. Once you have saved for a rail mini, make sure to upgrade that to stronger barrel, and then now you're gonna save for a tomb. Once you get a tomb down, you're gonna place it around this area right here and you're gonna try to max it as fast as you can. And by the way, while you're doing all of this, make sure to always be aware of your surroundings, and if you see the killer fish around, then you better go ahead and collect it, because if you don't collect him, he's gonna go ahead and kill you. Once you get your tombs maxed, what you're gonna do next is you're gonna get a line of rail guns right over in this area, and you're gonna get them all to iron spikes. Once you finish your iron spikes, you're gonna move on into placing your missile launchers right around this area right here. You're gonna get all of your missile launchers to max, which is the nuke upgrade, and again, if you didn't know, you cannot upgrade to paragons in this game mode. When you max your nukes, what you're gonna do next is you're gonna be placing lords on Jurt. You wanna lord him as early as you can, just because if he gets far and gets to the castle area, by that time Lord MK2 is gonna spawn in, and what's gonna happen is that if you're familiar with cube defense targeting, you know that sometimes the priorities are not prioritizing the first cubes at the front of the line. So if you don't kill Jurt on time, it's gonna start targeting cubes behind Lord MK2 and you're gonna end up leaking Lord MK2. Once you're lording Jurt, what you're gonna do next is you're gonna place an ACD right next to the nukes, and that is because on wave 21, Lord MK2 is gonna spawn on the castle area. Once you kill Lord MK2, then the next thing that you're gonna do is basically just place down most of your towers. If you want, you could max Lord, because by this time you would have evil birds in your platform, and make sure you kill them on time, and also place some ACDs next to your missile launchers. You may also max your railguns, and at some point Kraken Egg would spawn in, and for this one you're gonna try to kill Kraken Egg as fast as you can, so that by the time you kill him, you'll have enough time to place your lords and stars to your teammates' platform, just because that's where the final boss would spawn in. It'll be good if you guys target the final boss as early as you can. Unfortunately, on this recording that I did with this teammate right here, we didn't last very long because he leaked on his platform. Unfortunate, I have no clip of that, but doing it this way should get you all clear for your pool platform. So yeah, that's how you win. I'm gonna go ahead now and show you guys the full gameplay, and before I go ahead and do that, if you got into this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you subscribe if you haven't, and also thumbs up this video so I know that it helped you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Okay? Bye.